Hi, my name is Barry. Welcome to the channel. I'm a retired electrician after 40 years, and I took up quilting as a hobby in retirement. And if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I started off at the beginning not even really knowing how to sew, and I've been trying to progress a little each time. And I've fallen in love, I think, with curves. Now, a lot of people I've seen in comments say they don't like curves or curves are too hard. And I think it's just misunderstood. I've been thinking about it, and when you normally quilt, you push or you feed your fabric through the sewing machine. With curves, you sort of do this motion. You just sort of take both ends of the fabric and you just sort of line them up, and you just keep lining it up, and that's the key. And also using this thing, this purple thing, that's been a little help. So I started doing looking at curves, and I found this pattern, and the pattern is Chic Country by So Kind of Wonderful. And I loved it for the fact that if you can see, it gives this design of circles all in it. And at first I was like, there's no way I can do that. But this does it on its own. I mean, this pattern actually makes the circles on its own, which I think is a great effect with very little effort. And if you notice, the secret to these, there's a couple secrets. One is the pattern is light, dark, where the outside here is light here, where it's dark here with a light on the center. And that's the whole key to it. Doing it light, dark, and just alternating. So that's the secret number one to the effect of that, is just make sure that every other block is a light or a dark. The other thing is, I was worried about all these points matching up. And if you know me, I don't like pinning. I am a clipper. I love my little clips. But the secret to this is, when you go to match, say, this one with this one, is stick a little pin through the very tip here and match it up with the tip right there on these. And so you're not really worried about the outside seam so much as you're worried about that those two pins are exactly in the same spot, and you sew that. And I was amazed. They call this pattern confident beginner, and I'm confident that you can do this. It took these are, by the way, first of all this fabric was gifted to me. All the pink fabric was gifted to me by Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I really appreciate it. All the white fabric I cut from my stash, but it took about 7 yards to make this. It's 57 by 57. It's what it's supposed to turn out to. So I just think it's a great pattern. So, and I'll also, here's another little thing. Your first block is not going to be as good as your last block, but it works out. Curves are a little wonky. They design these to be a little wonky. And the good thing is when you do your pattern, it's going to be wonky, but when you trim it up, that's the key. That's when everything lines up. It's when you get into the trimming section. And so what you're left with at the end of the day is this cute little block. And I figured up, I think there was like, all you got to do is do this little block 128 times to do that. So it's pretty amazing. But yeah, like I said, this one is called the Quick Curve Ruler. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's a Quick Curve Ruler by So Kind of Wonderful. There will be a link down below to Missouri Star Quilt Company, to my wish list, that'll have all this fabric, this ruler, and the purple thing if you're interested in trying it out. I highly recommend you try it out. And I also highly recommend that you try it just tried to do some scraps just to get the hang of it. But this thing is so, well, to me, it's awesome. I'm actually thinking, now that I've done one, now this one's probably going to go to my mom. My mom's birthday. I've been in a little bit of a hurry this week to do this one because my mom's birthday's in a couple of days. So I'm going to hurry up and get this quilted, and I'll do another video of me quilting this. But I think she'll like this quilt. But I want to take my time, and I think I'm going to do one for the Ohio State Fair this year because I just like the way that pops. And I think that might be, you know, being curves, that I like the effect that it gives. You know, last year I was going to get my quilt entered just to see if I could get into the show. This year I would like to see if I could maybe win it. So give me a heads up if you think that color combination there would work, or if I should go with a different color. But these are, like I said, these are all Tula Pink fabrics, if I didn't mention it before, and except for the checkered one. And like I said, the link will be in the description below. But I like it. I hope my mom will like it. I think that you should try it. Don't be afraid of curves. I'm going to insert some video of me making this if you care to see. But like I said, it's the key with those things is when you grab the fabric, don't tug on it. You just slide them over and just keep them in line. And I use a seam guide, and that seam guide seemed to help. So get you some locking stitches in when you first put it in. Get it locked in place, and then just take your two pieces of fabric and then gently just keep working them. And then when you get towards the end, use your purple thing to sort of guide that last little bit underneath the needle there. Don't get your finger underneath the needle. But I don't know, tell me what you think. I'm really happy about it. Like I said, these come out so cute, especially when you press this last piece here. When you press this last one, it's so satisfying when they come up, and those seams are to me really nice. I was going to say perfect, but they're really nice. And I didn't use any starch on these. This is just water. I used water and iron. And so anyways, let me know your thoughts. Like always, after health but before wealth, there's memories. So go out and make some memories, and I will see you later.